10 foods to avoid if you have high blood pressure. High blood pressure or hypertension is a common medical condition that occurs when your blood pushes against the walls of your arteries at an extremely high force. What this means is that your arteries eventually get damaged, leading to other serious complications as stroke and heart attack. But the thing is, you will most likely not see any symptoms when your blood pressure is high until it is becoming a problem, which is why it is advisable to check your blood pressure levels from time to time. However, what to note is that, like most diseases, what we consume into the body is a major contributing factor of high blood pressure. And so ensuring your diet is balanced and healthy enough will significantly decrease your risk of the condition. But eating certain foods, especially if you already have high blood pressure, will only make your situation worse. This video looks at 10 of those foods you should completely eliminate from your diet if you don't want to worsen your high blood pressure. 1. Salty foods. The sodium in salt contributes majorly to high blood pressure and its related conditions. And this is primarily due to how sodium alters fluid balance in the blood. It is recommended to not go above a maximum of 2,300 mg of salt a day, which is approximately equal to 1 teaspoon. But unfortunately, most people find it hard to do without salt, even if they actively try to avoid it, which is why it is important to read the labels of the snack and packaged foods you buy. Other foods such as bread, burritos, tacos and sandwiches all contain high amount of salt you would not know of. Eating them regularly will only further increase your blood pressure if you have the condition. 2. Sugary foods. Sugary foods are high-calorie foods in nature, and that is certainly not good for your blood pressure, especially if you are already suffering from it. But just like salt, it may be difficult to curb your taste for sugary foods, since they are contained in most foods and drinks in supermarkets and grocery stores. For people with high blood pressure, it is better to opt for natural sources of sugar, such as fruits, if you want to satisfy your sweet tooth, rather than going for added sugar sources. Foods such as cookies, ice cream, energy drinks, and other added sugar sources also becomes addictive when you constantly consume them, so it is better to avoid them completely if you can. 3. Canned soup and other canned foods. Canned soup is packed with sodium. A cup of tomato soup contains up to over 1,200 mg of sodium, while a can of vegetable and chicken soup also contains almost 2,200 mg of sodium. The sodium content in this canned soup and canned foods in general is added in high amounts to both preserve it and give it more taste. But you are better off opting for healthier, less sodium canned soups if you have high blood pressure, because consuming them in high amounts will only make your situation worse. To ensure your soup is more healthier and tasty, you can opt to make it on your own. You only have to add more healthy spices and herbs to enrich the taste. 4. Red meats. Red meats such as pork, beef and lamb are not only high in sodium but are also full of saturated fats, which are generally considered unhealthy, especially for people living with high blood pressure. To stay on the safer side, your best bet for meat sources should be lean meat like skinless chicken and turkey breasts. Opting for these options will reduce the risk of high blood pressure and other related diseases, and they will also in turn provide your body with a healthy source of protein and essential monounsaturated fats. 5. Alcohol. Alcohol poses a lot of problems for your heart and the blood pressure if you consume it in excess amounts. Most alcoholic drinks also contain a high amount of sugar and empty calories, which only goes to make your blood pressure situation worse as you take them. But the worst thing about drinking alcohol as a person with high blood pressure is that it will likely prevent your medication from working effectively, and this is bad news for your health. Normally, a glass or two once in a while won't do much harm, but it is a big problem if you can't seem to put the bottle away. It is advisable to speak to your health provider for advice on how much alcohol is too bad for you, and whether or not it is best to avoid drinking it completely. 6. Processed foods. Just like canned soup, processed foods and most packaged foods contain a high amount of sodium, and so for someone with high blood pressure, it should not be an option for you on a regular basis. What's more is that they are also high in fats and sugar, meaning that they are likely also to make you obese if you eat them too much. Keep an eye on the labels of these processed foods and go for those that have relatively low sodium content. Certain brands also purposefully make heart-healthy options of these foods, and although they may not be as tasty as the regular ones, you will be doing yourself a favor by choosing them instead. 7. Caffeine. Your regular coffee and other caffeinated beverages may be tasty and energy boosting, but they will do more harm than good to your health if you are already trying to lower your blood pressure. In fact, for the average person, drinking 4 or more cups of coffee per day will spike your blood pressure and leave you at risk of other heart problems in the future. And if you are already dealing with high blood pressure, you should not take more than 2 cups of coffee or any other caffeinated beverage per drink. Make sure you limit your caffeine consumption as much as possible and swap your normal coffee for decaffeinated coffee instead. 8. Condiments. Certain condiments may not be bad for a person dealing with high blood pressure, but that's dependent on what their label says. The key is to ensure they are low in sodium and sugar as much as possible. However, most condiments such as hot sauce, ketchup and salad dressings contain high levels of sodium and sugar, making them more harmful for people with high blood pressure. It is advisable to try healthier alternatives such as lemon juice and vinegar if possible, or try cutting out condiments from your diet completely. 9. Pizza. A classic pizza contains everything you will not associate with a high blood pressure friendly meal, and this includes all the meats, condiments, and salt it contains. But it is not such a bad idea if you eat pizza once in a while, as it is supposed to be. You are only putting yourself at risk if you eat it more frequently than you are supposed to. In any case, you can always choose to prepare your own pizza at home if you can. Doing this will mean you don't load the pizza with extra sodium or cheese. You will probably also have to opt for leaner meats rather than pork, all of which will make the pizza much friendlier for your blood pressure. 10. Pickled foods. A pickled food is any food that has been preserved by dipping it in salt and other flavoring elements to also give it more color and texture. Foods such as kimchi, sauerkraut, and the heavily preserved vegetables you see in most supermarkets all go through pickling, so you should purposely avoid taking them if your blood pressure is already high. The good thing is that they are easily identifiable by their packaging and how they look. But the other option you have, if you need to buy them, is to thoroughly wash them once you get home, because this will reduce the salt content to a certain degree, making it safer for you to consume as a result. Conclusion. Blood pressure is measured in millimeters of mercury, mmHg, and a reading of 180/120 mmHg will normally indicate symptoms such as nosebleeds and heart palpitations. At this point, it becomes a serious health crisis that requires immediate medical attention. However, even a lower reading of 130/90 mmHg indicates high blood pressure, even if the symptoms don't show, which is why it is important to regularly check your blood pressure levels as much as you can. But most importantly, make it a point to avoid eating or drinking the foods that are likely to raise your blood pressure if you are already living with the condition. This video provides you a great list of such foods